I'm Nancy Garber.
And I'm Edward Garber.
Ed was having issues with movement initially and lethargy. Eventually, he was having some hallucinations. He had sleep disorder, REM sleep disorder. And eventually he started falling to the point where he couldn't stand up alone without falling backwards. So we went to a neurologist here in Charlotte who said he has mild cognitive impairment, come back and see us in 6 months. And I had a girlfriend who's been in town for a very long time, and she suggested the Memory and Movement Center. So I called them for help. And I don't understand how the team at Memory and Movement could be tending to other patients because they were so dedicated to us. I mean, my daughter would be on the phone from Boston calling Robin and on and on. I mean, so we're very grateful. And eventually, Ed, the important thing was that Dr. Iyer was very patient and persistent, did not want to mistreat him, misdiagnose him. Said, we're going to take this very slowly and methodically and rule things out. And to the point where he had Ed come in, and all of this was going on during COVID. So needless to say, it was very stressful for everybody. And as a matter of fact, initially, some of our meetings were on Zoom. Robin helped me. We were in the middle of a move because we lived in a 2-story and Ed was falling backwards. So I had to get into an apartment. Robin helped us with resources in the community to help us with the moving and the caretaking and everything, because I couldn't sleep. So that the most important thing was for me to sleep so I could take care of Ed. So we got a caretaker. At any rate, so that we only had that for like a week or two before Ed had a grand mal seizure. And when he had his seizure, the good news was Dr. Iyer was already working with his colleagues, and they identified the day he had his seizure. Pretty much Dr. Iyer was having a meeting with his colleagues to confirm what they suspected Ed's diagnosis to be. And so he was able to work very closely with all the resources at Presbyterian Hospital and even Mercy. Robin worked with Mercy because Ed had a brain scan, EEG, that morning. So trying to coordinate and get everything to the emergency room hospital. And pretty much Dr. Iyer said, here's what we think it is. We think it's autoimmune encephalitis. We think it's a specific protein that they likely can identify. When they decided how to treat Ed, initially with plasmapheresis, within a couple of days, Ed was back to semi-normal.
I describe it as waking up. I had no recollection of any of this. And when I woke up in the hospital, as it turned out in the end, I actually lost a year of memory that will not return because the facts never went in because I had the short-term working memory.
He's our miracle. He truly is our miracle. We didn't think he was going to make it. So
that was another statement that I heard many times. And they would say, people that I spoke to, doctors and just other people that I had seen said, Ed, the last time I saw you, I thought it was going to be the last time I saw you. And every time I would, and they would say, wow, I can't believe the difference in you. And that I believe most of this was a result of early and correct diagnosis. And I say early because it was about 3 months. And I've come in contact with many other people with the same issues as mine who were not diagnosed for a long, long time and being treated, let's just say, incorrectly for what their real problem was. I'm sleeping well and I'm active outside. And
very active. I always say you can tell the difference between someone who has a job and someone who has a vocation. And the people at Memory and Movement have a vocation, and it's very, very much appreciated.
Mm-hmm.